Hi Stampers, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. I'm going to talk to you about a couple products from the Sale-A-Bration catalog, which starts on January 4th, 2017 and will run until March 31st. So we have 3 full months where you can earn products for free from the Sale-A-Bration catalog. Today what I want to show you, and I'm going to have more videos, is the card tin. And when I received mine, I couldn't believe how big it was. You can see here, it's huge. It'll fit a whole bunch of cards. The lid comes off, and you do get these inserts, which I added the alphabet to mine because this is where I'm keeping my customer information. But this is one of the products you can earn for free. And I know some of you have been receiving your catalogs in the mail already. That one is on page 14, and it's called the card tin. For my next reveal, I'm going to be showing you the Pretty Pocket card kit that you can see right here, and that's on page 19, which is the last page in your catalog. And this is what the card kit looks like. And I'm going to show you all of the individual pieces, and I'm going to make a card with you, and then I'll show you some alternative ideas that I've done with the card kit. One other thing I forgot to mention about the tin, you can see on page 15 how they decorated the front, and of course I'm going to be doing that with mine. So just keep an eye out on my blog. I'll show it on my blog once I have that done. So with this kit you can make 8 cards. So of course you have the 8 envelopes. And then for the card bases, which are actually little pocket cards, you have 4 in, I'm going to say, Daffodil Delight, and 4 in Pool Party. And you also have the white Baker's Twine, and then the inserts for the pockets, which this would actually be your card. 8 of those. And then you have all of this pre-printed. There's flowers at the top. And I kind of like this because I'm French. My parents are both Canadian. And this is in French right here. So I think that's kind of neat. And then you have your English. And I believe this would be German. I'm not sure. And if you look at the directions, it does give you the step-by-step directions here. It lists what the kit includes, the steps to creating, and then there's a quick photo here in the back that shows you how to assemble the pocket part of it. So I'm going to bring one of those in and use my bone folder to fold on the score lines. And these even have the adhesive already attached to them. So everything is there for you to use, no stamping. So now I'm going to remove the backing from the tape. And then all you need to do is press this down. And there's your pocket. And that's how quick that is. Now let's move over to the card portion. Now one tip that I wanted to share with you is anytime you get baker's twine like this, see how yucky that is? I'm anal about that. I like mine to lay nice and flat. So I usually plug in my flat iron and I run the twine through my flat iron. And you'll see how nice and straight that is. See how nice and neat that comes out just by running it through there once. So anytime I get twine like this, that's the first thing I usually do. And I do have a customer that said to me the other day, what if I don't have a flat iron? A regular iron would do, and I'm sure a curling iron would do also. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the insert, and I think I'm going to do the French version only because my parents both speak French. So you have a little insert right here. You just glue that in place. And then you can choose which flower you want at the top. Just slide this in. And as you can see, the little bonjour shows up there. And you should put this on the inside and center it perfectly. so that you can lay your flower. And I think I'm going to turn it around this way. And that goes at the top like that. And that's all there is to this card. And then you can just write your message on the inside and then add it to the envelope and send it away. But as you know me, especially when it comes to paper pumpkin, I come up with alternative items for my kit. So I'm going to do the same thing for this kit. I did just notice that I forgot to add my twine. So there is one more step. So you just tie that around the card and tie the twine into a bow. It does say to cut this about 18 inches, but I'm not going to cut it until I'm absolutely done. Okay, that looks pretty good, so I'll bring in my scissors. And there's your twine. Now for another version of this card, I actually, let me see if I can get the right one here. I actually took one of the yellow and I actually folded it this way instead. So of course the adhesive is going to be on the wrong side, so I just left the backing on the adhesive, and once I folded this over, I added some new adhesive to create this pocket. And then for the insert, I added a flower there instead of the sentiment, and I added a sentiment on both sides stuck to each other, so that way the back side of it wouldn't be sticky. And you can always write your little message here and continue on the back. And that goes on the inside. So this just makes like a little pull-out mechanism. And then I added a lace doily folded in half, so you have some on both sides, and then added a second flower at the bottom. So this one came out pretty cute too. Now, one of the first things that I pictured in my mind when I opened up this kit is to take two of these. I folded them on all the score lines. I'm going to remove the backing on the long tab, and I'm going to glue a second one lined up perfectly. Whoops. Okay, so we now have 4 sides. We're going to do the same thing here. Remove the adhesive. Fold this over. And you now have the beginnings of a box. So now all we need to do is add a bottom. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to start out with a piece of Pool Party that measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on each side of the long edge and fold. And then I'm going to bring in my paper snips and just notch the 2 tabs. This will just make it easier to insert into the box. Okay. And now I'm going to add tear and tape to both tabs. And we will remove the backing. Whoops. Picked up the glue on that one. Okay. I've also gone ahead and removed the backing from both of these tabs. So now we're going to fold these in and insert them. Press that one in place. And then I'm going to turn this around and use my bone folder and press the 2 flaps in place. And if you want this to look prettier, I would suggest adding a piece on the inside. And I did discover that this color is actually So Saffron and not Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to bring in my liquid glue, And I cut a piece just a smidgen smaller than 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it would fit nicely on the inside. And we're going to tuck that in and press it down with the bone folder. There, now you have the Sale-A-Bration on the inside to match the inside. Now, where you see the holes, I would actually take the hello, and of course the adhesive is on the back, so we're going to glue that to a piece of Whisper White. And the Whisper White I am using measures 4 inches by 1 1/2. I'm just going to center that, and we're going to do 2 of those. And I'm going to do one with the purplish color and one with the orange, so that way you'll have a variation on each side. So that takes care of the adhesive, and then if we just put glue around, we can stick that inside the box. We'll just hold that for a little bit and see how that looks. That's pretty neat. I'm going to just push it down with my bone folder. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. It's easier if you insert it this way first, so you can make sure the wording is centered. And then you can lay it down to flatten it out. And there, now you have a cute little box that you can add goodies to. And another thing you could possibly do is take the twine and come around the box and then tie a bow on the front. And of course you could add jewels and other embellishments to it also. I'm just kind of doing a quick one for you just to give you an idea of what you can do with this kit. See, I didn't finish flat ironing my twine, so I'm going to have to go back and fix that, but this gives you an idea anyway. Okay, and there's your little box. Isn't that cute? Okay, now let's move on to another project. Now for this card, I opted to not have a sentiment in the front. And because I am not using the German or whatever this language is, what I did is I removed one of the adhesive flowers, and it fits exactly over the lettering. So that way you're not wasting one of your labels. So that's what I did with this one. I used the German, put the flower on top and pressed it in place. I added twine by wrapping it around the card 3 times. And on the inside, I used a matching flower and the hello. So this is just another way to do the card using the same supplies. And lastly, I made a card using the Sale-A-Bration cardstock, which measures 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored in the center at 4 1/4. And as you can see, I used the polka dot side. I cut that down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 from one of the pocket parts. And I have the baker's twine around it twice, tied into a bow. Then I pressed the thank you in place. And then all I did to get these 2 flowers is I took one of these and cut it in half, and then laid one part at the top and one part at the bottom. And to finish it off, I added a few rhinestone jewels just to give it some bling. So as you see, I've made quite a few different projects, trying to use just what is in the kit. And here's my box. And I still have 2 of the yellow ones left, or actually pool party when I flip them over. But you could use these as layers also. And then I also have the flap of the one that I just cut for the card. And I still have quite a few pieces on my sheets. So you could figure out different ways to use this kit. I'm going to keep playing with it, so you'll probably see more samples on my blog. Thanks so much for stopping by today. And don't forget that Sale-A-Bration, you get one free item for every $50 that you purchase. And this will be going on until the end of March. And I hope to see you visit my online store. I'll have all the information at the end of my video. Thanks so much for stopping in.